And we begin at The Hague, where the International Criminal Court is at this point holding a status conference to determine the way forward in the case against Deputy President William Ruto and Joshua Sang. The conference has sparked a series of adjournments in the trial in the last week alone, after the last prosecution witness refused to show up 3 times. Witness 727 was a no-show on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and appeared entirely in a private session on Thursday. It is believed that the witness refused to talk when he appeared via video link from an undisclosed location on Thursday. Fatou Bensouda's team insists that the witness has crucial testimony that the prosecutor believes will make her case watertight. The witness is also last to appear for the prosecution. Claims though through his lawyer, he claimed that his life is in danger and he should not be forced to testify. Now, moving on to another story back home, Siaya Senator James Orengo says that he is willing to step aside and allow for investigations over claims of corruption while he was the Minister for Lands under the previous government. Orengo is among at least 120 government officials named in the Confidential Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission report handed to the President. According to the 2 speakers of the Parliament, the report will be tabled on the floor of the House and made public on Tuesday.
I truly welcome the commitment that the executive made about the fight against corruption. The fight against corruption, I think, in any form or shape is important for this country to meet its full promise. And to that extent, I think all arms of government and all state officers must be involved in this process. And so we hope that the statement that was made yesterday in Parliament by the President, and that all institutions that are concerned will move with speed so that this cancer of corruption is dealt with once and for all. And I want to assure Kenyans that as James Orengo, I'm willing and ready to pay any price, even at a personal level, so that this cancer of corruption is dealt with once and for all.
Moving on to some drama now. Tear gas and running battles characterized a funeral in Mukurweini constituency of Nyeri County when mourners protested against police officers. Kingori Kanyi was allegedly killed by a policeman's bullet 2 weeks ago after a disagreement between the two. The mourners decried the lack of arrest of the said culprit, saying that justice had been denied. The protesters initially dumped the body at the police station before the church leaders intervened. Carol Nderi has that story.
Drama ensued in Mukurweini in Nyeri County when a group of mourners engaged the police in running battles for the better part of the day. The protesting mourners demanded the arrest of police officers who allegedly shot dead 30-year-old Kingori Kanyi on 7th March at about 1 a.m. Kingori's burial was almost postponed after the more than 100 mourners collected the body from the Mukurweini District Hospital, and instead of heading to his burial site 300 meters away from the morgue, they marched to the nearby Mukurweini police station and dumped the coffin at the entrance of the police station report desk. OCPD Beatrice Kamoni's efforts to calm the mourners were futile as they continued singing dirges and chanted while waving placards.
Lakini mwenye aliua tukataka akamatwe na tuonyeshwe kwamba akamatwe ndio tujue haki inatendeka na afikishwe mahakamani. Kama msimamizi wao na mtu ambaye ameshaguliwa na watu, ni lazima nisimame na hii familia kwa sababu tangu Kingori auawe, this is the 3rd week, na tumesikia ya kwamba hawa police wamefanywa transfer wakapelekwa sehemu zingine. The
seemingly overwhelmed police officers then hurled tear gas canisters at the protesters so as to disperse them. The mourners regrouped after former Makadera MP Dick Wathika, who unsuccessfully vied for the Mukurweini seat in 2013, appeared at the police station and demanded to view the body, a request police officers declined to honor, fearing that this would only fuel tempers.
Haki ya wanyonge kama hailindwi na hawa italindwa na nani?
A police officer was hit by a stone on the head and was seriously wounded. Kingori was gunned down 2 weeks ago in unclear circumstances, but some relatives claimed that the deceased had been involved in a bar brawl with a police officer who later went to his home to look for him. His widow claims that some police officers raided their home and demanded that they open the door, only for her to hear a gunshot later. Church leaders intervened after talks with senior police officers, and the mourners were later allowed to collect the body for burial at Kiriti village. Carol Nderi, KTN, Mukurweini.
Elsewhere, Menti Central Member of Parliament Gideon Mwiti, who is at the center of a rape saga, was yesterday grilled for the second time. Mwiti was accompanied by his lawyer John Haminwa and was interrogated by detectives for about 3 hours after what detectives termed as inconsistencies in his initial statement. Mwiti was grilled as women's rights groups took to the streets demanding the arrest and prosecution of the MP.
Imenti Central MP Gideon Mwiti, who was grilled for 6 hours on Monday at the Gigiri police station, today went through the motions again, this time at the Parklands police station. Mwiti was summoned to record another statement after what police said were inconsistencies in his first statement. The MP was accompanied by his lawyer John Haminwa during the grilling that lasted for close to 3 hours.
He was asked to come here, and he complied.
As investigations continue, the woman who is accusing Mwiti of beating her, forcing her to take a HIV test and raping her was discharged from the Nairobi Women's Hospital, where she had been admitted since Sunday. The MP re-recorded his statement a day after the doctor, who is accused of forcefully conducting a HIV test on the MP's accuser, was also recalled to write another statement. On the streets, women's rights organizations held a procession demanding the arrest and prosecution of the first-time legislator.
Wanaume wajue kwamba mama akisema no, it means no. Hakuna no ya yes.
The Director of Public Prosecutions has seconded a prosecutor to aid in the investigations as police await results from the government chemists, where Mwiti underwent several tests on Tuesday. Rita Tinina, KTN.
Well, moving on, 5 people have been arrested after there was drama in Naivasha when irate water vendors raided several houses belonging to suspected donkey thieves and touched their household belongings. The vendors turned their fury on the suspects' belongings in Kabati Estate after holding a demonstration along the streets of the lakeside town carrying carcasses of the donkeys. Police had to move on in fast to prevent the situation from escalating. Trouble started after unknown people stole and slaughtered 5 donkeys along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. Incidentally, 3 suspects were arrested a fortnight ago by police after they were found slaughtering 3 donkeys that was 2 days earlier been released on bond by the Naivasha court.
Kutoka waanze kuchinja, sahi wamechinja more than 300 donkeys kwa kipindi cha miaka 2.
Mtu akiuliwa anachukuaga fingerprint na anaenda anashikwa. Kwani bude ikichinjwa, kwani wasichukue hizo fingerprint patushikie wezi?
Kuna wenye tuna suspect walioachiliwa juzi, walikuwa wamechinja ng'ombe na punda pia. Hao ndio tuna suspect.
Well, women, your husband is probably dating a younger girl. Well, if the latest survey commissioned by the Nairobian and done by the research firm Ipsos is anything to go by, according to the research, 79% of ladies interviewed say they have dated or are currently dating a married man. What's more interesting is that this trend is now becoming a social norm. But who are these men? Betty Kialo reveals.
If marriage is a lifetime contract, then the latest poll conducted for the Nairobian by the research firm Ipsos indicates that a section of married men in Kenya are subcontracting. The figures are unbelievable, beginning with this one. 79% of the women polled answered yes to the question, "Did you know he was married when you started dating?" The reasons why may surprise you. 85% of those interviewed said they are dating married men for financial stability. 17% deemed married men as more responsible, while a surprising 1% said they are involved with married men because of peer pressure. The scientific research done for the Nairobian by Ipsos further indicates that Luo men lead in having affairs outside marriage at 30%, followed by Kikuyu at 17%, Kamba at 14%, Luya at 13%, Kalenjin at 7%, and Kisi at 6%.
Now, in a society where monogamy is considered to be the norm, it's quite remarkable the number of single women who prefer dating married men or men who are simply taken. Well, perhaps the simple fact of human nature that grass always seems greener on the other side. Well, I set out to look at this particular phenomenon and why eligible bachelors may have to remain eligible for quite some time because their potential wives, girlfriends just don't prefer them.
Wasichana wanakataa vijana sababu vijana ni wakora. Vijana mnawadanganya, mnamweka sehemu, hamna hela, lakini wazee akimwagiza msichana kitu atawe mdogo atatimiza ahadi. Lakini vijana mnala mairungi, wengine walevi, vijana tumekuwa walevi sana.
Ukiwapata mtoto mdogo anakuomba maandazi, umeenda na yeye. Lakini mama anataka mahitaji kubwa. Anasema ninunulie mbolea, tena wanapenda sisi mifuko yetu ni minono. Hatuwezi tanganya, nikimwambia tukutane Sanuni Lodge, anakuja. Ninakuwa huko, lakini kijana anatanganya yeye.
Wengi wao katika manyumba zao hawana upendo na mabibi zao. Sasa naona ya kwamba akiwa na huyu msichana ni rahisi sana kwake.
We just go for what we feel like doing. You are free to do anything we want. Yeah, that's why. Then in terms of cash, chicks go for cash. Everything is about money today. And they're free.
Mapato yetu ni kidogo. Ushaona? Mapato kama shilingi 300, 400. 400 inapatikana, huwezi ukafanya nini? Ukachunga mwanamke kwa mfano. Kama ukipata msichana mdogo huwezi ukamchunga. Nitakana ulipe nyumba, akule, avae, mafuta, nywele, viatu, ushaona? Vitu kama hiyo. Vijana dumana, vijana wanaogopa.
Kwa mwanaume kamili, mkamilifu, bako kuwa na mpango wa kando. Maana usipokuwa mpango wa kando, kuharibu boma yako ni rahisi sana.
The ladies go for that old generation, the old men, because maybe most of them are financially stable, they are that capable, maybe most of them drive, and that is why they opt for them, the driving type.
Speaking of cars, the Ipsos survey went as far as showing the cars these men drive. Men who drive luxury vehicles were unsurprisingly the most appealing of the married men.
Warembo wameacha vijana, wameamua kwenda kutafutana na wazee. Kwa sababu unajua wazee washalea familia zao, washasomesha watoto wao, wako makazini, wengine wale wazee hawajaenda retire, so wako na pesa. So, lakini sisi maasala ukijaribu kukatia demu na una chochote inakuwa ni bure.
Lazima tufanye nini? Tu date mabwana za wenyewe. Already tu anulie shambangu kidogo hapo, nijenge. Unaona? Na niendelee na business zangu, mimi hao sina shida.
It's not strictly speaking about money. It's about the use of money. It's about a sophisticated man. He's older. He's been around the block a few times. He knows how these things are done.
But just who are these men? Doctors, bankers, civil servants, businessmen, and lawyers topped the list. The bulk of those cheating, those who have been married for more than 5 years.
Some of them are coming from broken homes where there is no father figure. So you discover that they are just brought up by a single mother, and this mother is really struggling to bridge the gap, to be the father and the mother. And so this girl wants to explore. Some of them is exploration. They want to see what men can do to protect them. These men are telling them, I can father you, I can protect you, I can be your friend. And girls, naturally, they tend towards emotion. So they want to see that man who will cuddle them, that man that will tell them, I love you. So you discover that we are trying to solve problem that is coming from different dimensions. Broken homes, and there are homes that are not broken, but is such a mess at home. It's full of domestic violence, and these girls are looking for love out there.
You have a marriage which is absolutely how it should be. Both are very happy, they love each other, they are very, very nice to one another, and so on and so on and so on. People don't stray. The guy does not go out drinking all night. He stays at home. He's so pleased to come home to his wife and children. So anything that detracts from that makes it more likely that he will stumble into one of these ladies.
The idea of extramarital affairs is not new in Kenya. Remember this?
Fikiria, boss. Fanya hiyo hesabu. Wacha mpango wa kando.
And this?
You think about it. At least kuwa safe. Use protection.
And the survey commissioned by the Nairobian is simply converting this infomercial into numbers. So it may not be surprising that a whopping 87% of those polled said they know someone dating a married man.
A married woman, watoto wanataka school fees, wanataka nini, lakini ule msichana hana mahitaji. So mwanaume atakimbia for the single lady. Of which pia huyo msichana akitoka hapo unakuta saa zingine ako na wanaume wawili ama watatu. Unaona sasa sisi kama married women tunakuwa na shida sababu haujui hata unaweza pata ugonjwa kutoka wapi.
People should not look for ready mates. That people should take a journey in life and meet somewhere. When you meet somebody in life somewhere, you begin to build together. Microwave things are not always the best. At all, they are good, but they are not always the best. Why these girls are looking for these men is that they don't want to go through the process of life.
Yet, ironically, short term is exactly what the women were surveyed said they wanted. Asked if they would marry the man they were dating if he left his wife, a majority 72% said no. A clear indication that the ladies involved don't want the lifetime contract that is marriage. Betty Kyalo, KTN.
Well, and that story just brings us to a close this afternoon. Do let us know what is happening around you. Our Twitter handle is @KTN Kenya. Facebook as well, that is KTN Kenya. My name is Ian Wafula. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.